You wash up on the Salish Sea's shores. Have you heard the story of human ankles? It's on the United States-Canada border. Many times in this place, ankles have washed ashore still wearing shoes. The latest one washed ashore on January 1, 2019. The discovered ankles were badly decomposed or contained a lot of salt water, so both their identities and causes of death are unknown. However, it is believed that there is no criminal involvement. For some reason, the joints of people who died at sea came apart, and the shoes acted like flotation devices, causing only the feet and ankles to wash ashore. As I mentioned earlier, this is not considered a criminal case. However, in March 2010 in Japan, after a part of a human body was found on a beach, both arms, the head, and the torso were discovered in different locations, revealing a bizarre case. More than 10 years have passed since this incident. The case is still unsolved. I would like to introduce one by one certain events that occurred before this person went missing, as well as a connection with someone who was later arrested for a different case. Now, here are the details of the case. The dismemberment murder of a woman on this island around 3:00 p.m. on March 15, 2010. On the beach of this island in Fukuoka Prefecture, a part of an unidentified person's body was discovered. The person who found it was a fisherman working on the island. At first, it wasn't even clear if it was human, but the fisherman quickly reported the situation to the local police officer and the fire chief. The three of them then returned to the beach together. After seeing it, the police officer confirmed it was human. Further investigation identified the deceased as Ms. Morogareko. She was confirmed to be 32 at the time. She lived alone in an apartment, left her workplace at 7 p.m. on March 5th, and had not been heard from since. On March 7th, her boss filed a missing person report. Unfortunately, it ended in the worst possible way. She was found. She was known to be friendly, gentle at work, and had a strong sense of responsibility. But police found her window was broken from inside during their investigation. When they lost contact with her, people heard a man and woman arguing and glass breaking. Because of that, the police proceeded with the investigation, believing that she had gotten involved in some kind of trouble. At first glance, she didn't seem to have any problems. However, as they continued investigating, they came across her social media accounts. She went missing. It was on December 26, 2009, about 3 months ago. She had posted on social media that she was involved in an accident. On her way home from work, at an intersection, she was driving straight when a motorcycle turned right from the opposite direction and hit her. Their stories conflicted. A third-party accident investigator was brought in, and their fair judgment determined the percentage of fault as follows. The other party lacked voluntary insurance and requested she use her insurance to pay for their motorcycle repairs. Given the fault percentage, she couldn't accept it. The situation worsened, and eventually they said they would visit her home. After that, someone resembling him was seen biking near her house. That's right. On December 31st, there were 10 calls, and on January 1st, 2010, there were 7, showing she was persistently followed. 2 months later, she was found. We don't know what happened to her during those 2 months. Of course, the police became aware of this person and conducted interviews. The man was Shun Shimakawa, a 36-year-old company employee. However, he was later arrested for forging a report about a traffic accident involving her. It's a situation where resentment from the traffic accident could be suspected, but he didn't own a car, which would have been essential to transport her, and instead used a rental car. After reviewing his history and friendships, there was little evidence linking him to the case, so suspicion is low. On April 9th, her arms were found in garbage bags between the Fukuoka racetrack and the sea. Her torso was found at Hakata Port on the 14th, and her head in Hakata Bay on the 15th. On April 28th, a man in his 30s who brought a wristwatch to a pawn shop was arrested for suspected theft. DNA testing and the serial number of the wristwatch revealed that it belonged to her. Initially, it was believed the case would be solved quickly, but the man said he found the wristwatch outside a different pawn shop. His testimony was consistent, and he had no link to her, so his involvement wasn't recognized. Later that December, a special investigation reward system with a 3 million yen maximum was applied. It's rare for the maximum to be offered within a year of the incident. But what does this mean? It means that the investigation has completely hit a dead end. However, even so, there was no valuable information, and in 2012, this reward was withdrawn. Her whereabouts became unknown. The next day, on March 6th, there was a golf competition at the company where she worked. But since she didn't show up there, it's believed something happened between the night of the 5th and 6th. At her apartment, both the window glass and the bathroom door glass were broken. Inside the apartment, nothing was disturbed, and there was no sign of marriage. Cash and credit cards were left behind. Her personal car for commuting was also left in the parking lot, but only her private cell phone was missing. That's the situation. I have little information beyond what I've shared, but there is one promising lead. That is, 2 or 3 days before she went missing, neighbors heard the voices of a man and a woman arguing at the entrance and hallway of her apartment. The man's voice said, "I love you so much. I have nothing to fear. I could even kill you." Also, around 2 a.m. on the 6th, someone was seen staggering on their feet from the second floor of the apartment. A man was seen accompanying a woman and helping her get into a car. It is unclear whether this woman was her or not. That's right. She was hardworking and had a cautious personality. She dated an older man at work, but was dumped when he was transferred. Even after they broke up, she still loved him. She said she couldn't stop loving him. If the other person is a man, she likely wouldn't invite him into her room, even if he's a coworker, unless they're especially close. Maybe the other person forced their way in, or something similar. A coworker mentioned this. I also got a Twitter direct message from a coworker's relative who shared real info about the situation. Her father was working at the desk across from hers. He was the last person to call her work phone. The next day, 5 police officers came to the house and did what they usually do. They went with me to places like the bar and checked my cell phone records, asking about my alibi. The Fukuoka Prefectural Police investigated her company ties, questioned her ex-boyfriends for leads, and worked hard to catch the culprit. Unfortunately, the case is still unsolved. In 2012, regarding this case, since the special investigation reward ended, the case has slowly faded from memory. Whoever the culprit is, that person is still living among us as if nothing ever happened without being caught. I sincerely hope that the case will be solved as soon as possible, even if it's just one day sooner. And I offer my heartfelt condolences for Mr. Moroga's passing. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.